Nintendo fans were shocked earlier this year when it was revealed that cult classic Super Mario RPG would be getting a remake. Despite having a devoted and passionate fan base, most people were convinced that this delightfully weird Mario game would never see the light of day again. But the remake is real, it's here, and the only question now is it any good? The short answer is yes. However, if you're relatively new to RPG games and are looking to dip your toes into the genre for the first time, then this game is an absolute must-play. Super Mario RPG is the perfect beginner's RPG. One of the most daunting aspects of the RPG genre is the massive time commitment that many of the games take to complete. For example, one of the most critically acclaimed RPGs of 2023 was Octopath Traveler 2. I played the game through to completion myself, and while I certainly enjoyed my time with it, its 40+ hour campaign did start to wear on me towards the end of the adventure. In that regard, Super Mario RPG is a breath of fresh air. The game moves at a breakneck speed. I completed the main adventure in under 15 hours, and what I found to be most impressive was that the game truly feels as brisk as its brief runtime. The world map is a pretty decent size, and Mario and company travel to a good variety of locales over the course of their adventure, but the group is never in one place for too long. The main goal of the adventure is to find the 7 stars that will help the team defeat the big bad, and coming off of a lengthier RPG experience like Octopath Traveler 2, I was actually surprised by how fast the story moved. It feels like you're constantly going from one location to the next, as finding one star typically leads into the search for the next one almost immediately. What's remarkable though, is that despite this breakneck speed, the world still feels vast and lived in. The multiple different settlements all have their own distinct personality, and even though the main adventure moves quickly, there's still a fair amount of side content to explore and secrets to discover if one wants to. If you've been scared off by the obscene runtimes for many modern day RPGs, then this game is the perfect stepping stone, or gateway drug, to the much lengthier adventures that the RPG genre has to offer. Speaking of brevity, let's talk more about the game's story. Another very common hurdle for people looking to get into RPGs is that the genre's stories can sometimes be a little heavy on exposition. That's not to say a lot of story in gaming is bad, but sometimes people want to sit down and focus on gameplay rather than wade through hours upon hours of cutscenes and dialogue boxes. If this sounds like you, then once again, Super Mario RPG might be right up your alley. Look, the story in this game isn't going to win any awards, but it's charming and well written and never loses sight of the fact that it's meant to be second to the gameplay here. There are dialogue boxes and cutscenes, but much like the game's snappiness in other areas, they're usually short, to the point, and get you back to playing the game as quickly as possible. I would never want to disparage the 40-hour epic stories I've experienced in other RPGs, but if you're someone who avoids the genre due to time constraints or being intimidated by devoting that much time to one story, then again, this game might be perfect for you. Super Mario RPG is also perfect for beginners because of its simple yet addicting gameplay. Like many of the other Mario RPGs out there, this game's turn-based combat may seem simple, but it's kept fresh and addictive through its timing-based mechanics. Each move has a unique timing to it, and by pushing the A button at just the right moment or rotating the control stick quickly enough, your move will do extra damage. Time it perfectly, and your move will damage a group of enemies rather than the only one you're targeting. RPG vets might think that this makes the game a little bit too easy, and they might be right. Super Mario RPG is a breeze for the most part, but for RPG newbies, this serves as a perfect entry point to turn-based combat in general. Playing through Octopath 2 earlier this year reminded me of just how exhausting certain RPG mechanics can be. Some of the boss battles in that game took north of 30 minutes to complete, and that's definitely not the case here. Though substantially longer than normal encounters, boss battles in Super Mario RPG still feel remarkably snappy when compared to their RPG contemporaries. That's not to say the entire game is a walk in the park though. There's a pretty substantial post-game here that allows for much more challenging battles than the primary adventure contains. So if Super Mario RPG is your first RPG experience, and you're ready to take that next step after completing it, then the post-game is the perfect way to continue to wade deeper into the depths of the RPG genre. Another hurdle that many RPG newbies often have to deal with is inventory or item management, and once again, Super Mario RPG streamlines this in the best way possible. You can still equip each party member with different equipment that allows for different buffs and immunities, but it's all handled in a very simple way. Menus are simple and uncluttered and make swapping out your party's gear easy as possible. You're still able to get the RPG joy of customizing your party and making your team your own, but it's all presented in a very digestible and simple manner here. Super Mario RPG is not a perfect game or a perfect RPG. It throws a number of different mechanics and mini-games out there, and not all of them land. And sometimes the writing and humor can fall a little bit flat when compared to other Mario RPGs. However, there's no denying that this is an RPG adventure bursting with charm, and while some might be turned off by the simplicity of the game, others might find that same simplicity to be one of its strongest qualities. If you're someone who's just looking to get into the RPG genre for the first or second time, then Super Mario RPG might just be the perfect game for you.